April 11, 12:13 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Why, on all days, why my birthday? Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness.
This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. And I'm adjusting my seat as it's happening. The prosecution calls Miss Sheena Mary Black, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand.
I think y'all better step back now. What's with this stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
I can't believe you actually said that!
Now then, witness, could you please state your full name? Don't hurry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous. Yes, don't be afraid of the love.
If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size.
And I will bash them with my gavel!
I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You are all so nice. I almost feel right to go. Not at all!
There was nothing!
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. And I'm a junior in literature.
I can't even say literature.
I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine!
Get ready, you're crying. It's gonna hurt you till you have to die.
No, the honor is all mine.
Just give it. Ain't no use in trying. And no you
Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Sir. Is there something I can help you with?
You just go on and say whatever it is on your mind.
I'm sure there's...
What is gonna be one of those kind of moments I gotta be like, yeah.
I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes. I can see why you say that.
She's going to be a tough witness, all right.
Why do I need that line on? Oh, right.
It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. Here we go.
I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities.
God damn, I can't even hold his voice on for so long. I don't know what to say, according to you, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth. But I would never.
Bitch!
That's more than enough witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination. Your Honor, I, for one, don't plan to win my cases on a bunch of paper-thin lies. Tee-hee. You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once.
She says with a glare. She says with a glare. In any case, Miss Fay, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madame Fay. Madame? I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie.
Well, now, we're going to push on a few of these. Namely, this. We're going to statement number 3. And press that.
Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dookie. If I press her for no good reason, I know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now?
Show a contradiction.
Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne. So let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never! Miss Fay, I will not allow you to badger this witness!
Glare.
I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition.
Another glare.
But she has no supporting.
Death stare.
Please don't glare at me like that! I'm just doing my job! Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. I still can't get over that name. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Doogie. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear any noise either.
Oh, really? Well then, allow me to show you this.
Objection! You say you didn't hear any noise. Is that correct? Yes, that's why I was... Damn it, I need some water. That's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, you would have sucked their dicks. I mean, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Ah! May I have a moment to answer?
But by all means!
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up. It seemed as though Thor wasn't ready to have his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in your testimony at all. Wait a second, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally... She said something that could totally change this whole case.
What she just said was... there was lightning.
Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice she just said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now's not the time for science lesson, Miss Faye. Besides, what has science done?
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
Oh!
Ah! Pop it fresh dough.
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Duck Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
It appears the defendant may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't... I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye. I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. What? What's more, we've found evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne. Well, what is this evidence?
The affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All of the lab's equipment run on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely, they lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly, in other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would cause them to break.
So we get the student's testimony added. However, there is one thing that still troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped or had been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the case of the severed cable?
Your Honor?
I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Well, that would happen to be my client, Phoenix Wright.
Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
The defendant's testimony.
He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct?
Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that...
The lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage.
Yes, the prosecution also came to that conclusion.
Stop lying, Brainy.
And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted.
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right, the victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he could have been electrocuted by this severed cable in the foreground here.
Ah!
In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Order! Order in the court!
Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I long to hear them.
It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have...
Mr. Judge, sir, may I say something? Madame Attorney's explanation. She said some things are a little different than I remember them.
What the?
Please, just once more. Please, just once more. May you please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge.
Of course, it's all right. go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors.
Give me a moment. Before I actually start on this, I need to do this. One moment. Okay, since we are back and I got myself some water, let's proceed. What I witnessed caught a deer.
The truth is, Beanie pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Doogie tried his best to run away from him, but Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Doogie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. Painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination. What I witnessed, Part 2. Well, we're going to run to number 5. And we're going to present this. Objection!
That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand.
Please don't talk to me.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that Mason. That's the one Beanie likes to take for his cold.
Please stop talking to me.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It's at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. One moment. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay.
My point is this! What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Yeah! Would you care to explain that to the court, Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne? What exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that. It was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order in the court! What about the...
This is nonsense! The real murderer? Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene was there a window of opportunity for the real killer.
Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer?
It's finally time. It's the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready.
Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you'll be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fay. Now then, Miss Fay, let's have it. Who is the real killer? This person.
Take that! It could only have been you. Dahlia Hawthorne!
Whoa! How can you... The defense is grasping at straws!
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of electrocution. What exactly were you thinking that whole time, Ms. Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you.
Order! Order! Miss Fay! What I mean is, what? There's to say...
Miss Hawthorne! I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very hands. Ah! How can you say something so mean, Madam Fay? I didn't do anything.
Miss Fay, this is a very serious charge.
Your Honor! Please, I have something I want to say!
You! What is it?
Please strike everything the defense said just now for the record!
What the... Are you daft?
You're totally wrong, Miss Fay! Dolly, she couldn't do something like that!
Mr. Wright, get back in your seat! Bailiff, grab the man!
He might die alone!
That boy. He's gotten himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg! You're back! It seems I arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report and an incident in your newspaper clipping. And you get the police report. Lovely. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You'd better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. And Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. That is, I am. Go right ahead. Madam Fay, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also try to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright.
I told you that you should let me handle this.
Sorry. Please go right ahead.
How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for my poor little me to bear.
I believe that girl is trying to ask what on earth her mother would be.
The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. "8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne."
Further testimony? What about?
"About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright."
What could that possibly have to do with this case?
The witness claims she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason.
Very well then. The court grants the defense request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. How I Met My Feenie. I first met my darling Feenie 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse basement meeting room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going on ever since that fateful day.
We're so lovey-wovey. We literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think.
Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court!
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her!
How I Met My Feenie.
In this case, let's press.
The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madam Faye. After all, Feenie was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What a literature student like you doing a courthouse reading room?
This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you. This has nothing to do with Mr. Swell's case.
I have to remember, the judge is on Dahlia's side. I better tread carefully.
We're gonna keep pressing.
Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on for testimony.
Very well. Young lady, I have a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in that courthouse reading room?
If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this. I had to come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing.
In this case, we're going to present the police report on this statement.
Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye?
8 months ago, right here in this very courtroom, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned?
The name of the suspect is in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago.
This is unbelievable!
It's true then. The loveless rose can hide the cruelest thorn.
Miss Fee, that's not fair! You can't slander my witness with an unreliable case. I was in pain. Will not allow it!
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Yes, Sheena.
Pardon me. You go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Express some interest, I bet they did.
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
I see.
Okay, I've tied the 2 crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive.
Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks. I can hardly tell which one is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids.
Dear God, man, put some Preparation H on that bitch.
The poisoning.
I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in that cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal, just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that.
So that's what happened here 8 months ago. And Judge Wapner was presiding at the time.
However, as you have heard from the witness testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just out of tricks.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. But I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Yeah, I'm seeing 2 of them right as I'm speaking.
Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger?
Aha, Mia! You're glowing with a true lawyer's awe, my dear. You've got the glow, the feel, the woman. You've got the glow. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing. I wish I had something. I wish I had some preparation H right by now. Okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to finish this right here, right now. We're going to push to number 5. In this case, we're going to do this. Objection?
You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you.
What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab.
Boyfriend? You mean the victim took swallow?
That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at IVU.
Pharmacology?
His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table. You! No!
Could it be?
That's nothing but a piece of second.
May I say something, Madam A?
What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I was certain immediately after the incident took place.
Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down.
But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She got me good at that.
Provide some evidence, or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead.
The police conducted a full-body search of Dahlia.
I bet they did.
And the entire courthouse. And yet that container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
If you're going to accuse a young lady of committing the murder, then where's the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it?
Well, it's right here. That small bottle necklace given to Phoenix, it's right here. Take that! You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with this case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched.
Who is this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course.
So the defendant was this witness accomplice?
Of course not. She gave the poison to him disguised as a present. What? But that's... That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? Really quite true.
So what about it? What does this mean, Miss Faye?
The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago, August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here?
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would have found a trace amount. No!
Order in the court!
On behalf of Dahlia, I object!
Mr. Wright, control yourself!
I won't let you bully her like this!
Mr. Wright,
I thought I told you to stay in your seat!
Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her?
She used to give me head.
Why? Because I'm madly in love with her!
Shit a brick. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway?
Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too.
Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes.
Been doing that for 19 long years.
At this point in trial, I think it's...
Well, actually, I've opened my eyes since 19 long relationships ago. Not relevant to this case.
At this point in this trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is
The necklace.
Dahlia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck.
My necklace?
Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself.
Yeah, but she's so shy. She's so shy.
She's so shy. Every time I see her, she's always saying the same thing to me.
Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of a crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back.
You're lying!
But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you.
That's a lie!
Mia! Are you alright?
Oh, the defendant, he's getting away!
Hey! After him! Mia! Mia! Are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he went completely insane!
Where's Mr. Wright?
Looks like the bed have caught him, so he should be brought back here soon.
Thank goodness. Oh no!
What is it?
The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone!
What? That's terrible!
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Slammed into your mighty tits of perfection. Foolish boy, that's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court!
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough.
Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace?
Forgive me, I'm sorry.
It's okay, just give back the necklace.
I ate it.
You... what?
You ate it.
It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah.
What? What is he doing now?
Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt?
I need to take a shit.
A bottle you swallowed may have some poison left in it.
It seems that the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly, that bottle did not contain a deadly poison.
How can you be so sure?
I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So what's she?
No! There must be some mistake! The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency.
There. It's alright, Rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's hard for me to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough! Unfortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. But in the court of law, evidence is everything.
Even though I've proven so much, is she going to get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial.
Mr. Wright! I'm sorry, Miss Fay. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you.
What is it?
That day, the day I met Doc Swallow, that girl, you shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's not your business.
I'm telling you, for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news.
You're lying!
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab.
Poison?
The same thing happened 8 months ago. Drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It could only have been her. That girl's a thief.
Stop it! Don't talk about her like that!
Falcon! Boom!
Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous! There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him.
What?
She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
Your Honor, this is the defendant is Miss Fay. You tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent.
So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doc Swallow. The night before. Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Fay.
If you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this.
Yeah, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore,
Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Who else?
there was one person that was squarely... There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Phoenix Wright!
Me?
That is preposterous! After all, it was Duck Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be.
But how could that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were enough.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about.
But even so, why? Why would she go so far as to murder him?
8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence.
It can't be true! Beanie. What a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne?
It appears that this trial will be coming to an end soon. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a kind has eaten the bottle as a snack. Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne! What's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? I'm a bitch. Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind.
But you're not finished.
Fine. Then ask this nasty old hat to finish up already.
Come back here, bitch!
I can't let her get away this time.
Stop, Mia! If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer!
The ultimate prize?
You would be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
No! You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Ms. Gray.
Oh! His fight words. Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all?
If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But To be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof.
Impossible! You can't possibly!
Stupid woman.
It is the opinion of this court that there has been already enough discussion. Therefore, I will only allow one piece of evidence to be presented.
Just one?
If you are unable to establish your guilt, then I am afraid that there is a very harsh verdict that will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright.
I understand, Your Honor. I could just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's paper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there.
Well then, Miss Flay, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. And that proof happens to be... Cold Killer X.
Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all.
Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine.
Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold?
If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned.
What?
Remember what the defendant said in his testimony?
But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Yeah. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us.
She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some.
Now you're really grasping at straws! After all, it was the victim, Duck Swallow, that was holding medicine.
I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence?
What are you talking about?
8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Which I don't need this light now. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poison bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright.
I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant.
Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Duck Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying the bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they search me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Duck Swallow.
Shut up, Rick!
Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar.
Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Huh?
Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation.
I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some? Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? And now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us! I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Miafe? Miafe? Do you think you what? Well, do you, Miafe? That's just fine! For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being. Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Yes.
I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best.
Whew, that makes two of us.
It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this! The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their rich claim!
But even so, your witness seemed to have accepted it.
I don't care! I wince in pain!
You wince in pain.
And I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said!
Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said...
There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust a witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
So she's so trustworthy. Then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison here, right?
You see, yeah.
And here comes the backpedal. Come on out, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life?
Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning.
Don't lie, just admit you were wrong.
By the way, Miss Faye.
Yes, Your Honor?
You said earlier that you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne knew each other?
Your Honor, how we knew each other had nothing to do with this case.
Very well. Mr. Payne...
This can't be happening! It's a nightmare! It's like losing to my daughter!
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defense have anything further to say?
It can't be true, my dear.
Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty! This court is adjourned! April 11th, 3:16 p.m. Good Lord, the day is over. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Yeah, you were wonderful now.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius.
Mr. Grossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them?
That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it was we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this.
Oh, Mr. Wright! Congratulations! Thanks. I was thinking. Go on. The Dahlia that I saw up there on the witness stand? I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the Dahlia I know could never have said those kind of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. What kind of company must this guy keep? Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I guess I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time.
That, of course, is Larry Butts.
I see. Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court.
It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer, like I planned, and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia's gone now, but even so, I can hear her in my mind.
Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief.
5 long years. Something has happened that made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. And with that, folks, we have come to the end of the first case and come to the second case, which is called the Stolen Turnabout. So we're going to save here. And in our next exciting edition, we're going to take on episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout.
in our next exciting adventure on Let's Play Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Until then, I will see you around for the next part. The Tenkaichi has spoken, and I am out.